Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share a new product with you. That's the Minc Reactive Mist Spray, and I wanted to create a card for you using that mist spray. And just a warning up front, if you have that already or if you're thinking about getting it, it's incredibly tacky and sticky. That's unbelievable. It's even worse than some of my adhesive. So if you work with that, be prepared that your fingers stick together and that everything sticks afterwards. But the results are so amazing that I think it's really worth it. So basically how you start is that you spray the spray somewhere on the paper, or you drip it like you just saw it in the video, and then you have to let it dry. It's very important that you don't run it through the Minc machine while it's still wet. I nearly ruined my machine when I did it the first time, and really let it sit, best case, overnight. So I knew that I wanted to create like a winter scene, so I added some droplets here and there to have like some snowflake effects later on. And I did two pieces because I wanted to have a test piece. So then I took the cute snowman die from Gina Marie Designs, and I'm not the best person with paper piecing, so and with this die, I mean, it's gorgeous. You should see AJ's version of that card. She did a gorgeous paper piecing job on that one. I just don't have the patience. So I took my Zig Clean color markers and I colored the snowman with that, and because I didn't do a whole lot of shading, I shortened the coloring process a little bit. But while you're watching, just for your information, I used the black, carmine red, mid brown, beige, scarlet red, cobalt blue, and light green Zig markers for coloring the snowman. And again, I'm not doing anything fancy with shading. I'm just coloring some of the areas because the die leaves you with a really nice impression in the embossed areas. So you really can see where you can add some interest in the coloring. And what I'm basically doing is coloring the scarf. Then I'm adding a little color to the hat and to the nose. Of course, it has to be a carrot nose, the broom, and the little birds. Excuse me. And I try to I use colors that fit with the Let It Snow sequin set from Scrappiness, because that was like the main, these were the inspiration for my colors basically. So and there you see that I use, that I'm nearly done, and that I'm just coloring the birds and then just add the little bit green there for the leaves. And then I'm already done with the coloring. It was really a quick and easy job. That's why I love the Zig markers really for that. Now I'm taking the Believe sentiment die. That's a new one. And I'm preparing a piece of cardstock with some tumble glass distressing, and I'm really messy with that. I really don't care how it looks like because I'm die cutting the Believe sentiment out of there. Sprinkling a little bit to get some distressed effect. Haha, that's why it's called distressed inks. And then die cutting it out to have the piece in a nice blue tone there. So, and now after I let the paper sit for a little bit and let them dry for a little bit, and I was impatient here, I'm honest with you. I didn't let it dry entirely, so I didn't go with my own rule. But so I took the test piece and I cut two colors of the Minc foil. I took the teal and the holographic foil because I wasn't quite sure at that point which one I wanted to take for the background, so I just thought I'd try both. And I take those pieces of the foil, put them on top of the paper with the spray, cover one half with the holographic foil, so that's the one that you see right there, and then one with the teal foil. And just to protect my transfer sheet a little bit more, I'm covering it in just regular copy paper. And then I'm running it through my Minc, and my Minc is a little on the side, so I can't really show it on camera. I'm sorry for that. But I used settings for 3, and there you can see what happens if you don't let it dry entirely, because it comes out on the sides and stuff sticks to it. But basically, that's your result. And now I decided to go with a holographic foil. So I'm taking a new copy sheet paper, and this one is a little drier, this piece, than the first one. So I'm putting the holographic foil on there, and I'm just deciding on in which direction I want the stripes to go. Put it into the transfer sheet again, run it through on 3 settings again, and then have my foiled background piece, and there you can see the beauty. And it's really nice because it's kind of like a not really controllable background that you can create, and you have so many options with the spray and the foil together that you can just be way more creative in how to use the foil, and you don't need to have the toner sheets, and you don't need to be like super precise with stuff, because this is the basically the meaning of the spray is to not be precise, right? So perfect for me. Then I die cut the belief sentiment a second time in black to have a little bit more contrast to the very light background. And I decided to cut a piece of vellum for the snowman, so the snowman has a little chance to stick out from the background too. So, but first I'm adhering my foiled panel to some background paper, and I used a paper from the Deck the Hall set from Echo Park. And then I'm adhering the two beliefs together. So the black is basically the shadow of the sentiment. And I'm just using my glue pen here, and it's rather easy because with the brush sentiments from Cat Scrappiness, you really have a nice area where you can put the adhesive on. It's not too messy. And then just putting it together the way I want it, and then I'm ready with the sentiment part. So now I'm adhering the snowman onto the vellum, and I'm adhering it first, and then of course I don't keep it that square, that looks a little ugly. I'm fuzzy cutting around the snowman, leaving a little border of the vellum around it, and I did that off camera, so I'm sorry for that. And I think it's not really interesting to watch me fuzzy cutting something. So, and there you go. And now I'm adhering all the pieces onto the card. Of course, the base onto a card base. It's a regular A2 size card base that I'm adhering it on. And then I'm taking the snowman and put them slightly off, so it's not really in the borders of the white part. It's a little bit off, so it moves onto the black background. I think it just adds a little bit more interest if things are not really aligned with the inner part. And then I'm taking foam tape to pop the sentiment up and to make the sentiment really the interesting part of that card besides the foil background. Otherwise, I think it would just get lost on the card there. So, and I'm really, these are teeny tiny fuzzy pieces, so I'm really trying to get everything together so it really pops up nicely and doesn't get squished in the mail. And I hope I achieved my goal there with all these little squares on there, so you really don't need a whole lot of foam tape there. If you already have tiny squares, that's probably a lot better than trying to not cut into your fingers while creating those little squares. And then just popping it up on the bottom of the card. And as a final step, of course, I have to add the sequins, and I'm using the sequins that were the inspiration for my color choice of the card. And I'm using the snowflakes and some of the blue and or teal and red sequins that are in the mix. And also, just to break up the very shiny foil a little bit, I'm also using some of the white ones directly on top of the foil. Just, yeah, to not have it too shiny, to have the sequins really add to the background. I really like how it turned out at the end of the day. So that's my card. That's how you use the Minc Reactive Mist to create a shiny background with your card. I hope you enjoyed my little winter scene here, and see you soon on the channel. Bye!